Hey guys, it is Moonsalt Stables, and today I'm going to be reviewing and ranking some of the Breyerfest 2021 models. In this particular video, I am going to be going over the special run models. Now, these models are available only to VIP and regular all access ticket holders. The VIP tickets are $230 and the standard all access tickets are $75. Those all access tickets are limited to about 10,000 total and will start going on sale starting on January 25th. Those tickets will likely stop being sold sometime in May or until they sell out, so be sure you don't wait too long if you do want them. Anyways, let's go over those special runs in this video. I will be ranking them from my least favorite all the way up to my absolute must-have model. The really cool thing for the Horse of a Different Color theme is that these models are based off of art pieces and artists, which is a topic that is close to my heart. Now, yes, I was expecting this theme to be a lot of weirdly colored horses or rare colors on horses, but I'm really glad they decided to go with the art theme instead. I think it's really cool. I'm excited to see all like the raffle models and everything else included with this theme. So anyways, to start off, we have the non-equine model Gnosis. Gnosis is a brindle piebald bull on the Spanish fighting bull mold and was inspired by this bull leaping fresco at the Palace of Gnosis in Crete. This fresco dates back to 1450 BC, and honestly, I think Breyer did an awesome job at replicating this piece onto the model. Personally, I was hoping for a wildlife model like a moose or a pronghorn antelope this year, rather than a cow or bull again. So this guy is the lowest on my list, but he's still really cool looking, and I'm excited to see some in-hand photos of him. He will be $60 and is limited to 1,000 pieces. Up next on my list is Pêche-Merlet, and he's the vintage model for 2021. Every Breyerfest, there's generally a vintage mold in the special run lineup, and this is that model for this year. He was inspired by the cave paintings of Pêche-Merlet in France, and these paintings are over 29,000 years old. I've always been fascinated by ancient art history, so I'm actually kind of sad I don't really like this model more than I do. I do like the paint job, but I don't care much for the John Henry mold, so he won't be a model I end up buying this year. I do love that he has gorgeous tricolored eyes though. I'm super impressed by the amount of detail Breyer has been able to put into quite a lot of these special run and limited edition models. This one in particular will be $60 and is limited to 1,900 made. And the next model, and the first special run reveal that we actually saw for Breyerfest, is Uffington. Uffington was inspired by the Uffington White Horse in Oxfordshire, England. This piece is over 350 feet long, is about 3,000 years old, and was created by filling these giant trenches with crushed limestone. Breyer represented this land art using the newest Aquateke mold, Altenai, and he is done up in a gorgeous pearly cremello color. I do like this horse, but I don't really care for the mold enough to actually need him. He's another one that I'm excited to see in-hand photos of though, especially to see how his eyes how they end up doing his eyes and just how the color turns out, especially in photos. He will be $60 and is limited to 1,800 pieces. All right, the next horse on my list is one that I keep debating on whether I want him or not. I kind of keep flip-flopping back and forth. So I guess it'll really depend on what models I actually end up getting drawn for in July. This horse is Tassili and was inspired by the sandstone carvings at Tassili Nager, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Sahara Desert. This horse is beautifully glossy and has these gorgeous chestnut markings. However, I personally don't care for just the sheer amount of white on him. I do like glossy models, but I prefer gloss to be on dark colors rather than models that are either lighter color or that have a whole lot of white like this model does. But I'm excited to see in-hand photos of him, just like all the other horses, just to see how that gloss kind of makes his color pop. And Tassili will be $65 with 2,000 of him available. It is really nice because Breyer upped their run numbers quite a bit this year, especially as compared to 2020 or even just previous Breyerfests. I think it's nice they anticipated the amount of people that would be joining in, especially where it is going to be all virtual this year. And I do hope that these run numbers, these larger run numbers, stay a constant in future Breyerfests as well, especially where Breyer has announced that for all future years, even if Breyerfest is in Kentucky again, there will always be a virtual aspect, which is something I am excited for, especially as someone that really may or may not ever be able to get out to Kentucky at any point in time for Breyerfest. I'm excited that there will be a virtual component, and hopefully that means these large run numbers will stay a constant in the future as well. So now for our next horse, it is time for another model on a brand new mold from 2020. Seurat is a sooty palomino on the new Vermeer mold. He was inspired by Georges Seurat, a French painter known for his use of pointillism. Breyer gave Seurat lots of teeny tiny dapples to represent this pointillism style. I haven't decided if I really like the Vermeer mold or not. I've never seen one in person, so don't really know how I feel about him. I'm kind of iffy just based on photos alone. But I do love Palominos, so that's why he's a little bit higher on my list. I do hope that the dapples stay just a little bit more subtle like they are in these promo images. I'm really, really hoping that Breyer will show us some videos and photos of the in-hand models before we have to decide on who we want, but we'll just see what happens there. This guy in particular will be limited to 2,000 made and will be $65. All right, now we are getting into the models that I am definitely hoping that I will be able to get. Gran Cavallo was inspired by research that was done by Leonardo da Vinci, done in preparation for a gigantic 26-foot tall bronze horse statue. The original clay model for that sculpture was destroyed, but modern day versions of the statue have been created. Breyer's Gran Cavallo is done as a liver chestnut Sabino on the Peruvian Paso mold. Now, I actually don't own any models on this mold, but have always really liked it, so I'm hoping to be able to add this guy into my collection. He will be $65 and limited to 1,800 models. All right, this next model is on a mold that I really don't care for, but I am in love with the blue Roan Pinto color, and he's named after a fantastic photographer. Ansel is inspired by Ansel Adams, and as someone that absolutely loves national parks and adores nature photography, I definitely want to be able to try to get this model. I'm also so happy that Breyer included a photographer in their lineup of inspirations. I feel like a lot of times photography kind of gets thrown to the wayside when art is being talked about, so it's really nice to have a nature photographer in the mix of inspirations on this one. Ansel will be limited to 2,000 models and will be $70, which makes him the most expensive of the special runs outside of the surprise model. And speaking of the surprise model, the next model on my list is the 7 Arts Surprise. Now, we will have no idea what mold the surprise models are on until the first person gets their models after Breyerfest in July, but I am super excited. The name 7 Arts Surprise is in reference to the 7 traditional subdivisions of the arts, which are architecture, sculpture, painting, literature, music, performing arts, and film. Last year, we only had 4 colors on the Slancha Surprise models, so I'm curious to see if Breyer does actually come out with 7 different colors this year, as is kind of indicated by the name. I'm hoping we'll see 7, but we'll kind of see what happens. The 7 Arts Surprise will have 6,000 models in total and will be the most expensive special run at $85. I will probably make a video of my own surprise model predictions sometime before Breyerfest. Feel free to comment below if you would like to see that on me just guessing what the mold might be, along with some colors that I am hoping for on that model. Now, last but certainly not least is my favorite special run this year, and the one that I definitely hope I will be able to get. Pollock is 2021's decorator model, and guys, I am obsessed. Pollock was inspired by the giant multi-layered abstract splatter paintings by American painter Jackson Pollock. Pollock is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous rainbow horse with gold Appaloosa spots on the Vallegra mold, and he's just beautifully glossy, and I love him. I don't even care for the mold, but I need this horse in my life. I need him to go with my prism and my spectrum, and just I need so many more rainbow models in my life. I love them all so much. He is definitely the very top of my list, and if for some reason I don't get drawn for him with my tickets, I do hope to be able to buy him secondhand because he is an absolute must-have for my collection, and he will be limited to 1,600 models and will be $65. So overall, I am really excited to see in-hand photos of these models, and I can't wait to see who I'll be able to add to my collection in July. Just as a reminder, for each all-access ticket, both the VIP and the regular all-access tickets, you can only get up to 2 special runs, and they must be 2 different models. So do keep that in mind when you are buying your tickets for Breyerfest if you would like any of these models. In my next video, I will go over all of the limited edition models, so the ones that you can get with any Breyerfest ticket. But for now, let me know down in the comments below who your favorite special run is. Will you be buying an all-access ticket to be able to try to get one of these? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to see even more model horse videos and more Breyerfest videos when we are heading up to July. Thank you so much, you guys, and I will see you next time.